Medicare can be extremely confusing, especially when trying to figure out if you're going to choose a Medicare Advantage plan, a Medicare supplement, stay on original Medicare, or choose a standalone prescription drug plan with original Medicare. In the midst of all the confusion, I want to simplify why a lot of people are now choosing to do a Medicare Advantage plan and go over with you the 5 reasons why so many people are converging into Medicare Advantage plans and exactly the benefits and the risk in those plans. Stick around, I'll be back in just a second. All right, we're back with the 5th reason why Medicare Advantage plans have gained a tremendous amount of popularity over the last 10 to 15 years. Each year the percentage of people enrolling into Medicare Advantage plans have continued to grow. And before I go over this 5th reason, I want to kind of give this analogy that there's agents and agencies out there like us, like Medicare Hub, that are enrolling people and helping guide people through the health plan options. And there's kind of 2 different, mindsets, or really 3. And I like to say we're in the middle. So there's one mindset, the only type of health plan you should ever choose is a Medicare, original Medicare with a Medicare supplement with a drug plan. And then if you want to stack on top of that additional benefits or insurance like dental, hearing, vision, you would pay for that. And you would have like 4 or 5 policies with this insurance agency. So you have your Medicare supplement that covers your Part A and Part B services. Your drug plan, which is the second policy, would cover your medication costs in general, and you'd have small costs incurred when filling medication. And then like dental, let's just say dental, hearing, and vision, you have 1 policy that does that or 3 separate policies. So there's very easily, a lot of times those insurance agencies then will also talk to that same person about life insurance. And so they may have 4 to 5 or 6 policies with that insurance agency, which is absolutely fine. But they focus on Medicare supplement being the only way to be insured. And then you have this tribe of people and agents and brokerages and people that do Medicare health plans over here that only talk about Medicare Advantage. There's literally people out here in the market that have no clue how to explain to you how Medicare supplement works. And then there's people over here in this tribe that's doing Medicare Advantage, and that's all they live and breathe by. They think everyone should enroll into a Medicare Advantage. That's what they would do. They will talk to you in a way that's like, hey, if I was your age and I was choosing a Medicare health plan, there's no way I would choose a Medicare supplement. I would choose a Medicare Advantage plan. And reality is who cares what you would do? Who cares what I would do? My choices are my choices. I have to make those decisions and live my life. Your decisions affect you, and you need to be informed on both sides of the fence. You need to understand Medicare supplements, which can be a great fit for a lot of people. Medicare Advantage plans can be a great fit for a lot of people. And then we find ourselves in the middle, educating people and making life easy by making Medicare simple, which allows you to look at both sides, simplified, understand the basics of both sides, and then make a directional move towards which way you want. Medicare Advantage, awesome. Let's go over what plan is going to best cover your doctors, specialists, hospitals, costs, benefits, and things that you're looking for that's important to you. And then overall things like medication costs and things like that we look at as professionals, making sure that you know which plan. And you can ultimately choose whatever plan you want. You can say, hey, Kelby, I think you know what you're doing, but I don't want that, I want this. And we'll enroll you in whatever you choose. We want to be here to guide you. Or if you're looking at Medicare supplements, what's going to cover you at the lowest cost premium, that's a stable carrier, and we look at all these analytics and things dealing with the Medicare supplement insurance. So we're right here in the middle, educating you, guiding you, and making your life easy by making Medicare simple. So how does that roll into this 5th part of 5 reasons why Medicare Advantage plans are gaining popularity? It's pretty simple. The enrollment is simple. So enrolling in, and understand if you do this process, Medicare supplement, prescription drug plan, ancillary products, and you have 5 different insurances, guess what? You're going to have 5 different cards, and then you have your Medicare card. So you have 6 different Medicare, insurance cards. So when you go, you have to pull out your dental card. Do I give them my Medicare card with the dental card, and do I give them, there can be some confusion with that. Well, enrollment into a Medicare Advantage plan makes it extremely simple. Typically, with almost all Medicare Advantage plans, you're going to get 1 card, and that card is going to be used for your medical, if you go to the doctor for Part B services, if you go to the hospital for hospital Part A services, if you go to the dentist, get your hearing checked, need hearing aids, dental, hearing, vision, over the counter. If you go to a health club facility like a YMCA, you're going to become a member because that's part of your membership benefits. You take that card in, show that card. That 1 card does everything. And reality is your Medicare card, you take your Medicare card and you can actually store it away in a safe spot because you need that. You have to have original Medicare to enroll into a Medicare Advantage plan, but you don't have to show that Medicare Advantage Medicare red, white, and blue card any longer. You show your Medicare Advantage card. So a lot of people like the process because the enrollment is simplified, and then going and accessing care is simplified, and they have one card. Reality is, it creates more stress than it's worth sometimes to have, multiple services doing multiple different things for some people. Now, for some of you guys, you understand insurance better, you have a way to organize and keep up with your stuff, and you want a Medicare supplement because a Medicare supplement is best for you. You're traveling, you live here 6 months, you live somewhere else 6 months, you have chronic health conditions, you're aging into Medicare, and Medicare Advantage Plan is not even what we'd suggest to you with certain types of people. But in reality is we like to share both sides and then say, Medicare Advantage is a very simplified way, and you have one card that pretty much does almost everything for you. So it simplifies the enrollment process. It allows you to be able to access care quickly. And then right on the back of the card is the customer service lines and things. If you do have questions beyond things that we can help you with, calling our customer service department here at the office, then we're able to say, hey, you need to call the carrier, and that's a process that the carrier has to do for certain things that we don't have access to. Guys, I greatly appreciate you allowing me to walk you through these 5 reasons why Medicare Advantage plans are gaining popularity. I don't want you to think that I'm pushing you towards Medicare Advantage plans or towards Medicare supplements plans. Again, we're sitting in the middle just trying to educate you. But these are the 5 popular reasons right now why people are enrolling into Medicare Advantage plans. If you have additional questions, if you're inquiring about the different health plan options, and you're watching this and you're like, man, I just really like how your engagement is, Kelby. I like how you guys are modeled. You check out some of our other material, and you're looking at a Medicare supplement plan. We'd love to be able to help you with that, and the drug plan, and anything else that you have. But if you are looking at the plan that's best fit for you when it comes to Medicare Advantage plan, we can help you walk through and navigate those options as well very easily. If you have questions in general and just want to be able to reach out, we'd love to be able to hold your hand and walk you through the process. And if you want additional, like, hey, I want to deep dive into Medicare even more, you can always register for our Medicare Made Simple workshops. The free on-demand workshop will provide you a guidebook, and it walks you through A through Z of anything dealing with Medicare in about 40 or 45 minutes of me walking you through, explaining how Medicare works and engaging and having a good time. Guys, if you have any questions, great. If not, I'll see you on the other side.